I'll be frank, watching the Book of Boba Fett, I was expecting to feel like this. Yeah. Instead, the first 4 episodes made me feel like this. And this. And this. That is until a ray of light, a beacon of hope, an angel from on high, unexpectedly graced us with all his magnificent glory. And then we were hit with this, then this, and this, which left me asking, did Boba Fett just lose his own show to the Mandalorian? After pondering that question over a pint of spiked blue milk, I realized that I'm actually still pretty hopeful.
Why?
Well, let's dive in and find out.
Prepare for Dave!
There are 2 key things that Star Wars fans wanted to see in the Book of Boba Fett. A thrilling and savage Sarlacc escape, and bounty hunting. And Lucasfilm knows this.
And you know this!
Now, we did get to see the Sarlacc escape, though not as thrilling and savage as we may have hoped. We did finally get to see a live-action Boba Fett escape the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, I could dig it.
Now we get to the crucial piece that's missing from this bounty hunter show. Bounty hunting! Fans have been waiting decades to see a slick, mysterious, and downright cool Boba Fett in his prime, traveling across the galaxy, working with the Empire, crime syndicates, and other bounty hunters. But instead...
Shut up!
Just kidding, Disney.
Just a joke. Stay calm.
Now, I'm not saying revolve the entire show around his heyday with the Empire, because I rather like the idea of Boba Fett becoming a crime lord. This is where we get into the biggest missed opportunity for this show. Utilizing those flashbacks to give us the Boba Fett we all wanted to see. Not only would it have given us the skillful mercenary from the original trilogy, but a change of scenery would have been a nice touch too. Imagine flashbacks of Boba Fett on a mission in Coruscant. Instead, we get flashbacks to Boba Fett in the desert, then back to current Boba Fett in the desert, then another flashback to Boba Fett in the desert. Once again, back to Boba Fett in the desert. Only now have I come to truly understand Anakin's beef with sand. Now I want to briefly touch on something that may seem like a minute issue, but actually has a lot more to do with Boba Fett's problem in this show than one may think. And that is his persona. People loved Boba Fett because he was a man of few words, whose reputation defined him. You got so much from this character just from subtle movements or little lines of dialogue. But in this show, he's a man of many words. Too many words, in fact. Even Tamira Morrison, who by the way plays an excellent Boba Fett, thinks the character talks too much.
I speak far too much. In fact, in the beginning, I was trying to get past my lines on to Ming Na.
Yes,
and I
you
thought,
did.
excuse me, director, I really feel that Ming Na should say these lines because I want to stay mysterious. The scene tomorrow, I'm talking too much. This Boba doesn't talk this much. Look, I've got all these paragraphs here. I think we should get rid of it.
Good. At last, one of them is understood.
Boba Fett didn't need to say much. He was a man of action and ingenuity. For example, when Mayor Mok Shaiz's major domo tries to escape, the Boba Fett we knew would have just used his jetpack to chase the speeder and blast it from above to disable it, thus making it a strategic decision with virtually no collateral damage and showing the quick thinking and expertise of Boba Fett. This brings us to the final missed opportunity for the Book of Boba Fett, which is the overall tone of the show. During its development, I kept reading about how this show was going to be just like The Godfather. The show felt too clean, too sterile. And I'm still trying to understand how Boba Fett was able to take this punch without receiving a single mark on his face. Can someone please explain this to me?
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
The show had nothing in common with The Godfather.
Nothing!
And lacked the grittiness of The Mandalorian. All I kept thinking was of all the creative ideas and all the stories of Star Wars canon, they wrote this one. Now here's what I think. This show should have modeled itself after The Godfather. A storyline like that, mixed with the actual tone of The Godfather, ending with a Mandalorian team-up, would be
Wizard.
Speaking of The Mandalorian,
Here I come to save the day!
Mando showing up in this show is the best thing that could have ever happened to this show. And like a Sarlacc tentacle, I was instantly pulled right back in. Not only was seeing Mando a breath of fresh air, but the tone of his episodes felt nothing like the tone of Boba's episodes. I found myself wanting more Mando and less Boba.
What is the deal?
It led me to one conclusion. The Mandalorian has become the glue of modern Star Wars. He's the connection, the link, the way.
The libido, the life force, the essence, the right stuff. What the French call a certain... I don't know what.
After splitting the audience with the sequel trilogy, Star Wars found its footing once again, reuniting fans with The Mandalorian. The show brought us a great cast of original characters while diving deep into lore, bringing back familiar characters from the original movies, books, and cartoons. Fans are engaged again. The Mandalorian has opened so many doors and continues to expand the Star Wars universe. Now let's not forget about the character that is The Mandalorian, Din Djarin, and his new badass ship. Good God, is that thing cool. But besides Din being a really cool character with a really cool ship, we have a connection with him that we never had with Boba Fett. All we had with Boba was his coolness, but very little to connect with. This is why Mando will always come out on top, because we care about him in a way we never did with Boba. Even if the Book of Boba Fett was a flawless show, we'd still be just as excited and just as invested when The Mandalorian showed up. We've gone on a journey with Mando, and the possibilities of where he goes from here are endless, especially with his little buddy Grogu. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about that little guy. Nothing, I repeat, nothing will ever come close to the attachment we all have with Grogu. Come on, when Din said goodbye to him in the Season 2 finale. Now the last episode was pretty good. We got to see Boba Fett do his thing, and all eyes were on him. Until...
Oh, okay, little guy. I'm happy to see you too.
But then we got to see Boba Fett ride a Rancor. Until... Yes, but then we got a satisfying end with Boba Fett and his crew coming together with an exchange of friendly banter.
Chrysanthemum, you want to share?
Nope, gotcha. It ends with Mandalorian and Grogu in one of the cutest, funniest scenes in all of Star Wars. Now, despite all the flaws of the Book of Boba Fett, there's still a lot of hope for Star Wars. And that hope is The Mandalorian. It's not just Mando himself, but all of the possibilities that come with him. I mean, just look at how happy we all got the moment we saw him walk through those plastic strips and slice all those Klatooinians in half. The overwhelming success of The Mandalorian tells me that Lucasfilm is more than capable of creating original, compelling Star Wars characters and stories. And seeing how the last 3 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett played out, I'd say the future of Star Wars is very hopeful. And let's face it, Boba Fett's story can only go so far before we start to get a little Boba fatigued. Mando's story is endless and expansive, and whenever he shows up on screen, he does not disappoint. With The Mandalorian, Star Wars has finally achieved a way to connect characters without making the galaxy feel small. This is a big deal, because it has been one of Lucasfilm's biggest challenges since they were bought by Disney. So if you were a fan who was disappointed in the Book of Boba Fett, keep your chin up and let's celebrate the character who saved that show and recognize the unbelievable success of The Mandalorian and the opportunities that series has created for the future of Star Wars. Now, as much as I still want to see a solid Boba Fett show, I ain't gonna give up on my boy yet.
You're my boy, Blue!
The Mandalorian had me at
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
Let us know what you thought about The Mandalorian Season 2.5. I mean, the Book of Boba Fett. Then like and subscribe for more videos like this. Bye-bye.